Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my beautiful black people. By now, I'm pretty sure all you guys have heard the story about the white woman, Carolyn Bryant. She accused young Emmett Till of whistling at her or making some kind of pass at her, and her husband, and I guess it was her brother, because the story says that it was her husband and his brother-in-law, I believe. They tracked down this young boy. Emmett Till was like 13 or 14 at the time. They tracked him down, beat him beyond recognition. He was shot. They cut his penis off and shoved it in his mouth. Then they tossed him into a river. Now, the guys that did this to him, they had their day in court. They were found not guilty, of course, by an all-white jury, white men. They were found not guilty, but they came out later and admitted to doing it. Justice in America, right? So anyway, all these years later, the woman that set all of this into motion, Carolyn Bryant, has come out and has admitted to making it all up. Now, number one, even if this young boy did say or whistle at her or whatever she accused him of doing, it still wouldn't have warranted for what happened to him to happen. But as sinister as his murder was, it makes it even more sinister for this woman to come out after all of these years and to admit that she lied. Now, everybody is obviously focusing on that part of the story, which, hey, it should be focused on. But I wanted to focus on what happened after the news of her admitting to lying on young Emmett Till. I wanted to focus on what happened after the news got out that she admitted this. Well, what happened was, once again, you have news cameras entering a black church, and this guy, his name is Wheeler Park. Okay, he is the cousin of Emmett Till. He is also a lifelong member of the black church. Now, they're filming this guy. He's sitting in an empty church. It's obvious that he must either be a member that, I don't know if he's a pastor or not, but you know what I'm saying? He's a member of this church. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember the video that I did a few weeks ago, okay? About 2 weeks ago. And I entitled it, Embrace Your Oblivion, where I highlighted 3 different cases of black people within the church for giving these non-blacks, whites to be exact, for giving these people at every turn, no matter what was done to them. I highlighted the Donald Sterling incident where he told his mistress not to bring black people to his arena. He was the owner of the Clippers at the time. He told his mistress not to bring black people to his arena. Ironically, there's thousands of black people that attends the games at his arena, paying their hard-earned money, filling his pockets, and the team that he owns is full of black people. But he tells his mistress, which is a story in itself, seeing that he's a married man, but he tells his mistress not to bring black people to his arena. The story gets out. He gets bad press. He finds the nearest black church. He goes into the black church with television cameras in tow. And the black people in the church welcome it all with open arms, and they forgive him, and on and on and on, and everybody lives happily ever after. The next case was a college student being recorded on a train or a bus somewhere with his fraternity brothers, members of the fraternity he's in, or was in, or whatever, singing a violent, racist song, a song written against black people, where the lyrics consist of them talking about lynching and hanging black people. This story gets out. The white boy gets negative press. He goes and finds the nearest black church, winds up with these black people, once again in front of news cameras. He says that he's sorry for what he said, and of course, the members of this church, members and leaders of the church, forgive him, and we're all the same. We forgive him. They're arm in arm in perfect harmony, and everybody lives happily ever after. I highlighted the next story of the Dylan Roof situation, where he goes into this church, slaughters 9 black people, worshipers at the church. They invited him into their Bible study. I'm pretty sure their hearts and their eyes were probably filled with glee when they saw this white boy come into their church. He sits in there with them. He's armed, and he blows them away with the idea that black people are less than animals. They're ruining his country, and they don't deserve to live. They're nuisances and whatever else he believed. And even after all of this gets out, about 24 hours later, the family members and surviving members of the church once again in front of TV and news cameras, speaking on how they forgive this dude for doing what he did to their people, killing them, but they forgive him. I highlighted those things in that video. And I asked the question, do you think if the shoe was on the other foot, if some black man walked into a white church and blew all of their family members away, and other members of the church, do you think that they would be in front of news cameras not even 24 hours later speaking on how they forgive that black man for doing what he did? I asked that question to y'all, didn't I? Yes, I did. Well, lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, I'm experiencing an I told you so moment with this white woman coming out and admitting to lying on young Emmett Till and her piece of trash husband and piece of trash brother, or whoever he was. Like I said, I heard he was the husband's brother-in-law, so I'm assuming that it was her brother. They go and kill this boy behind what this woman, Carolyn Bryant, said that he did. That he whistled at her and made inappropriate gesture towards her or whatever. They brutally torture and kill this boy. Disrespect him and his family. They cut off his penis, people. They cut off his penis and stuffed it in his mouth. Okay? Now, like I said, I'm having an I told you so moment because this woman comes out and admits that she lied on Emmett Till. And I'll be damned if this man, Wheeler Parker, Emmett Till's cousin, his family member of the black church, of course, sitting in front of television cameras. Black people, I want you guys to notice the pattern here. He is sitting in front of TV cameras, just like the other three examples and incidents that I highlighted. He is sitting in front of news cameras, speaking on how he forgives this woman for causing the death and the torture and the disrespect of his family. He calls this piece of trash courageous. So, not only does he come in front of news cameras speaking on how he forgives this woman for causing the death and the torture and the disrespect of his cousin and his entire family, he showers her with accolades. She's courageous. He says some other stuff. She's brave. I mean, it just makes me sick to my stomach to where I feel like I just want to throw up. I mean, look here. 2 weeks after I made that first video, you people hear what I'm saying? Like 2 weeks later, this happens. And once again, you have one of these black Christians ready and willing to jump in front of news cameras and speak on how he forgives what was done by the hands of these animals, by the hands of this trash. He forgives this woman for doing what she did and for causing what happened to his cousin and his family. He forgives her, and not only that, he admires her. She's brave. She's courageous. I'm not lying, people. Go look it up yourselves if you think I'm bringing this up. When I saw the clip, I'm looking like, yo, there is just no limit to this. What is the limit, black people? No matter how hard, your enemy kicks you in the ass, you are willing to forgive them at every turn. And I told you so moment that, I mean, usually an I told you so moment is somewhat personally gratifying. Usually, you know, when you're proven right, you have you kind of have some gratification out of it. Look here. I have been proven right once again, and I'm actually disgusted that I was proven right. The direct opposite of being gratified for being proven correct. Black people. I asked this question before, and I'm going to ask you again. Do you think if the shoe was on the other foot and you had one of these white so-called Christians or white Christian family or whatever you want to call it, do you think those people would even dream of getting in front of news cameras and speaking on how they forgive somebody black for doing something like that to their family? You can't believe that. I know you don't believe that. I know you don't. Black people, you cannot tell me that this is not a problem. You can't tell me that. I don't know what else to say, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a serious problem in our community. Okay? We have serious problems. Let me correct myself. We have serious problems. And there is no doubt in my mind that the black church is one of the biggest. I'm out.